For this, I'm going to share my screen. Kind of wrote these notes up this morning. Last week we talked about graduation, and we talked about the revenue possibilities, either from testing fees or things that you may sell at graduation. A lot of people do a weapon for the next cycle. Some people do a new t-shirt design. So there's always a revenue opportunity in graduation. There's a huge prospecting. We just talked about it. All your students bring in family, friends. Now they have friends to inspire, so you have prospects to get into your school. They get family that's going to start supporting them or just proud of them, so that adds to the glue, so they're going to stick to our school. There's always an opportunity where family members can be watching and say, hey, I should do this too. I see a lot of parents out there doing martial arts. This would be a great thing to do with my kids, and so now I'm going to sign on as a family membership. It could just be guests coming in. All of a sudden, they see someone doing martial arts, and they get inspired. And they go, hey, I would like to get those type of benefits. Maybe it's the fitness or just the culture of the school. They want to be part of that, so they're inspired to join. So as far as getting new students and sticking students to the school through retention, graduations are just phenomenal. So what I want to talk today is the actual graduation. There's a lot to talk about, so I want to break this up into two sessions, one today and one tomorrow, and just kind of set the picture for what a graduation is. So first, the atmosphere. Graduation should be a time, this isn't a testing time, this is a time where your students have either gotten all their stripes, they got their third stripe, so now they qualify for graduation. It may be an upper belt student that now they've tested, so now that they're testing, now they're coming back and getting their belts and participating in graduation. But the atmosphere is one of celebration. And it's your opportunity to give that student the well-deserved pat on the back and have that student realize that, hey, I'm making progress. Martial arts is something I'm good at. I have high interest in this. I can't wait to get back into class. It's an opportunity through this celebration to make parents proud of their kids or their family members. It could be a dad out there and he's learning how to do self-defense. The mom and the kids come and they're watching him, and all of a sudden the whole family's proud of what the dad's accomplishing through martial arts. It's an opportunity, if your students are inviting teachers and guests, for you to highlight the teachers and for you to educate others in the community on what this school is really about. It's more than just about martial arts being a fighting art. It's about people developing in their character, their trust, their integrity, their honesty, all things that family values that are important, and how the school is backing those family values. So that atmosphere is very contagious. I mean, people should, once they come to one graduation, they shouldn't be in a position where that, hey, I can't wait for the next time we do this. I'm going to invite even more people. So we start thinking, okay, this is a celebration. It's got to have a real high vibration, high energy attitude. So it's got to look like that. So when you decorate your school, this is the time not to have it look just like the martial arts school, but part of that celebration. So I always recommend that you have ribbons tied around your mirrors around the school that showcases the colors of your school. I've seen a lot of schools just like big bouquets of balloons with the colors of their school. When people walking in, should be some high energy music playing, so it's setting the tone, setting the emotion. I like to see a nice display of the belts, not in the plastic wrapper that you get them in or with elastic band on them, but all displayed really nice so people, wow, a lot of people are getting belts in here. That looks really, really nice. Maybe you have the certificates on display. So, okay, wow, these kids worked really hard. These adults worked really hard. They're getting a beautiful certificate. I start thinking about if I'm inviting certain people, people from the Chamber of Commerce, maybe I'm having all the kids invite their school teachers. I want to have some VIP seating. So when school teachers come in, they're all sitting in the front row or on the side, and this way I can introduce the teachers, thank them for coming, saying how we're part of the educational system. We share these kids in common. We really want to thank the teachers for everything we do. I really want to build some rapport with those teachers, because this is going to give me the opportunity to talk to those school teachers later and get invited into the school system, and talking about things martial arts related, maybe not fighting related, but as far as focus, concentration, setting goals. I love to get in front of the kids and talk about that aspect of martial arts. On these VIP seats for the teachers, I want to have a nice package. And the package is going to show everything we do in the school. If I've done school talks before, I've done presentations, I've talked about bully proof, I want that all to be in the package. I also had my school back in Arizona, and I had a couple grandparents that would always come to graduation, and they would be in wheelchairs. So I always want to make sure that I had special seating for them. I didn't want them to come in last minute moment, and all of a sudden I've got to change everything around in the facility. So those were waiting. Next thing is training my team so everything goes smooth. So who do I really need involved in the graduation? Well, I like to have my CIT members, maybe some of the older kids, doesn't really matter what rank they are, some assistants, and I want them opening the doors for people. So when people coming across the parking lot, we see them coming, and we're opening the doors and welcoming people. The same people would be handing out a schedule. So if you do any type of flyer or schedule of what your graduation is going to be like, maybe you have a list of all the kids that are graduating. You may post things that are upcoming throughout the year. So maybe everyone knows that you're going to have these holidays. You're going to be doing day camps. You're going to be closed for these holidays. You're going to have this special event. So it's got a list of things like that. So people can see what your school is all about. Gives them something to read while they're going in. You may want to include the 8 rules for having a super graduation. I posted those before. If you don't have those, I can get those out to you again. I also want these people that are opening the doors to recommend seats. So when I do my graduation, I'm just saying this, everyone does it slightly different. Maybe you have all your little dragons on the left side of the room, and you have all the black belts candidates on the right side of the room, and you have the intermediate kids in this portion of the room. Well, if your team knows that when they're handing out the flyers, they can ask the parents, who are you here to see? How old is your student? What rank? Now they can recommend which side of the room to sit on. So you don't want a parent of a little dragon have to stretch their neck around the corner to see a little dragon. You want to make sure that people have recommended seating. We want someone around the front office or the front door, the front counter, wherever that check-in place is you have in your school. You want someone standing there, maybe 2 people there that can answer questions. So parents want to know, hey, my child's up for renewal. I know after graduation, what do I do? What do I do? How do I order the next weapon? So who's ever behind the counter should have the answers to all the most commonly asked questions. How long is graduation? Well, it's exactly an hour. We're starting at 7. We'll be done exactly at 8 o'clock. When I had my school in Florida, I had a very, very busy parking lot. I always hired an off-duty police officer. I just wanted to make sure people felt safe in the parking lot. So they're running across the parking lot, someone's out there. In today's age where we have these random shootings and things like that, I would think it'd be really important if you're not in a major plaza that already has some type of police officer security, that you do hire someone only for a couple hours outside your place. Just makes everyone feel safe. I know the church I go to, they have 3 police officers that are in view, and it just makes you more secure when you go into a public event. So I think at your martial arts school, not only to make the people safe, but to make sure they are safe. Not only they feel safe again, but they are safe. That's kind of our responsibility. I also want to have an instructor who's just watching the kids, and he's kind of calming the kids down and getting those butterflies out. He's also talking to kids and telling them, hey, this is the day that you want to shine. You've been working really hard for the last 3 months. Your parents are out there. Other kids are out there. When you get out there, it is showtime. Show me your very, very best. So we calm the nerves. At the same time, we want to motivate them to do their very, very best. This is huge. I've seen kids really step it up 2 or 3 levels just by getting them prepped before graduation. So when the kids come in, if they have like either a separate room or they're behind the room, or if you're doing this in some type of venue where you have a hallway, you bring the kids into that hallway and you just talk to them and bring out the very, very best. So when they get out there, they shine. Another person you should have is an MC. I mean, this could be you. Maybe you're the MC of the event. Maybe you're just a master instructor and you're going to say some words of wisdom at the end, but someone else is going to be the MC. So the MC is going to make sure it gets started on time. They're going to make sure that after you do your opening demonstration or music, whatever you're doing, they're going to talk to the parents. They're going to thank the parents for being there. They're going to pre-frame, this is what we want to expect. Hey, if you see your child out there, if you want to stand up and take a picture, if you want to give them 2 thumbs up, that's all great. We want to make sure, again, this is a celebration. So they're pre-framing. So you want to get a good MC, someone who can talk, someone who's motivated, and someone who can inspire the audience. Also want to have some assistants. When it comes to handing out belts, if I have 50 people, 100 people, 200 people, I want to make sure those belts are handed out quickly, the certificates are handed out quickly. I recently went to a graduation with Tony Hall. It was really, really neat. He had like 5 lines of kids, and he had 5 assistants. When the kids got in line, it was time for their belts. There was an assistant in each line, and they just went out and they put the belts in front of the kids, so each kid got the right size, the right color. It was done real quickly. Someone else handed out the certificates, put them in front of the kids. So that wasn't like a dead time. Now, a lot of times I see we have a lot of kids, and we're calling them up one at a time, and parents start falling asleep. We want to make sure things are going and we don't have any downtime. So getting assistants to pass out belts, or just get you things if you need it. So you're running through and all of a sudden you need something, you have an assistant, and you don't have to stop, you're talking or you're running the class to go get whatever you need. I also think it's really important to have someone monitor the 4 to 6-year-olds. So if you do your graduation, you have everyone there and you have those 4 to 6. Well, 4 to 6-year-olds, they may only be standing up and doing something for 10 minutes. So they have quite a bit of time where they're sitting and they have to be patient. And that's tough for a 4 to 6-year-old. So we want to make sure that we have an instructor to be there and make sure these kids don't start fooling around and set a bad example for the protocol for the test. I also like to use music throughout the test. So you may be high tech, you may have all your music and everything on your phone, you control the volume. So as you're emceeing, you're doing that. Or maybe you just have everything planned out. So you want this song for these kids, and we want this song playing for these kids. We give them the belts, I want this song, and the DJ knows the order of the song and they know the volume. That is all great. And also I want to get some parent volunteers. So at the end of graduation, we like to have a celebration. So that celebration could be handing out pieces of pizza for the kids and water. And so we want parents to man that table. So when the pizzas are getting in, they're opening up the boxes, they're handing out the napkins, they're putting the piece of pizza on plates. So that's not a responsibility that you or your staff does. We can get some very involved parents to handle that. So a lot goes on in graduation, and if it's going to run smooth and it's totally going to be a show, you're going to need help. So we're 20 days away approximately from graduation, so we have plenty of time to get our team together and do the proper training. So a couple things. One, you want to prepare your graduation plan and follow it. I'm going to go into more details tomorrow. But if your graduation is 45 minutes long, you should write down that the opening song is 3 minutes. I'm going to pre-frame and talk to the parents for 3 minutes. We're going to do a 5-minute warm-up. If I'm going to introduce people on my plan, I'm going to have everyone I have to introduce. I don't want all of a sudden at the end of the time, man, I forgot to introduce my head instructor, or I forgot to introduce the new student of the month. Everything that you're going to do should be totally written out. Put that on a clipboard, put that on your iPad, and when you're walking around, keep looking at the plan, watch the clock, make sure you're going by the time. I think probably dads more than anything get frustrated when things happen slow and all of a sudden you're supposed to start at 7 and you don't start to 7:20, or you're supposed to be done at 8 and all of a sudden 8:45 you're still talking. We want to make sure that we follow the plan. Just good protocol. It shows that we have everything planned out and we're ready. One of the things that I'm going to just relate to a church I go to, I always sit in the same place, and they have a countdown for when the service is going to start. You see it starting at 2 minutes. It starts counting down. Well, as soon as it hits 0, it starts. I mean, I've never seen them start 2 seconds late. Every time when they start with a song. People are talking, people walking around, the pastor's shaking hands. Well, when it's time to start at 9:45, it gets started. They always start with music. Someone comes out, starts singing. They don't tell everyone to sit down. The music's going real loud. They're singing real loud. That's a really, really cool way to get it started. So you don't have to say, hey, can everyone have a seat? Can everyone quiet down? I don't want you to do that. You just get it started. I was watching some videos to music, and Let's Get This Party Started by the Black Eyed Peas is really, really great for starting a graduation. It's just got high energy. It's a modern song. It's got real good drum beats. And if you start playing this, I think the song lasts for almost 5 minutes, and you had some of your students doing kicks across the room, or if you have maybe a hyper team and they're doing tricking, or you have an adult self-defense technique and they're out there just doing some self-defense, it's just a really good way to get it started. So you got 5 minutes, loud music, everyone's getting energized because the energy of the music, they're watching something that's real fun. The music goes off, and now your master ceremony, yourself, your head instructor, now you just walk out, hey, everyone, I want to welcome you. I want to thank you for coming. I'm so excited you're here, and start pre-framing what they're going to do for the night. So that's what I want to cover today. Tomorrow I'm going to be covering more of the exact protocol of bowing the students in, doing the creed, when you should do your demonstrations, things like that. But I want to get the overall picture of a graduation. One of the things that I really like is after this pre-frame, the next thing I do is I like to showcase 1 or 2 students. This is kind of proof that our program works. I have a video that I was going to share on Rainmaker Business Solution today. We're doing a graduation. I had a 4-year-old student. Her name was Emma, and she got up and she led the whole class through the student creed. So she would say all parts of the student creed, and then the students would say it after. And it was just so awesome because she had so much confidence, so much self-control and composure. It gave us an opportunity to say, parents, did you see Emma up there? Was she totally incredible? I mean, I know parents that would be nervous if they had to talk in front of this group of 600 people. But little Emma got there, and she was just incredible. This is what martial arts is about. When we talk about building leaders and confidence, Emma possesses this. And I mean, she's only a green belt. Can you believe that? Everyone gives them her hand. It's just really cute to have a little kid do it in the first place. Second, leading by example, showing that everyone, okay, this is the end product. This is why we do what we do. I mean, the punching, blocking, kicking, and the fighting is important, but something that's going to change your life forever, your kid's life forever, is the confidence and the self-esteem they're getting out of martial arts. It's going to make them better students in school. Hopefully they're going to do better in high school, get a good position in college. Even if they go into the workforce, they're going to have a dynamic personality to really excel in the workforce. I'm so excited about everyone taking martial arts here. A little speech like that is invaluable at the beginning of your graduation. So that is it for today. I am going to make a PDF of this file. If you want a PDF, just message me on Greg Silva on Facebook, or just make a comment when I post this video on the Rainmaker Business Solution. Take care, Sal. Thanks for listening. That's Mr. Gumento waving there. He's done lots of graduations. They get better and better all the time, and he knows the power in putting on a great show like this. It's just one of the things that people look forward to, and it really makes we talk about being the lighthouse in your community. When people start thinking about your school compared to everyone else, you're the lighthouse, you're the one that shines, you're the one that's doing things above and beyond. If I want to take martial arts, I'm going to come to your school because what you do speaks volumes. Hey, everyone. Thank you. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye now.